Hi, I'm Grant, and this is Grant's Workshop. Today we're going to try to answer a fun question, which is, can I pass the U.S. Citizenship Exam? Now, after doing a little research, I found that the U.S. Citizenship Exam consists of multiple sections, an English comprehension section, and a civics test. And the civics test is what we're going to focus on. Now, ordinarily, they would select 20 questions at random from the 128 total available questions. Those are asked orally, and there's no multiple choice. You just have to give the right response. And then you have to get 60% of those right to qualify. Well, in the interest of fairness, and to prove that we didn't just hand pick the easiest or the hardest questions out of the entire list, I have my wife here, and she's going to ask me all 128 of them in the hopes that maybe in the bulk I might stand a chance at getting some of them correct. And we'll see. I mean, I should be able to pass the citizenship exam, right? I'm a U.S. citizen. I am the product of a public school education. I sat through social studies, and let's see. Should I make a prediction?
How do you think you'll do?
Oh, I think I'm going to fail. 100%. I think I'm going to fail.
Do you have a guess at what your percentage will be?
6 questions right.
I have 128.
Ruby, you need to not do that in here.
Okay. Alrighty, Grant. Are you ready to play Who Wants to Be an American Citizen?
I'm sure that's exactly how they start these interviews in real life.
It is.
With the game show music and the whole thing. All right, I think, this is important. I am going into this with zero prep, with no study, and people who are trying to become U.S. citizens would study for weeks and months and years to make sure that they know all these questions, and they would read through the Constitution, and I'm doing this completely cold turkey. This is 100% honest. I have not looked at any of these questions, and we're just going to see how many of these I can get right. Again, my goal is 6 questions, so let's do this. All right, here we go, lightning round.
Question 1. What is the form of government of the United States?
The Republic.
Question 2. What is the supreme law of the land?
The Constitution.
3. Name one thing the U.S. Constitution does.
Name one thing that it does. It gives the Supreme Court something to fight over? I don't know what they're asking for there. What is the one thing the Constitution does? Is a tempting target for Nicolas Cage? Next question.
Question 4. The U.S. Constitution starts with the words, "We the people." What does "we the people" mean?
We the people would mean citizens of the United States.
Number 5. How are changes made to the United States Constitution?
Oh, I know this one. Amendments.
6. What does the Bill of Rights protect?
The Bill of Rights protects your right to free speech, your right to the freedom of the press, the right to a trial by your peers, the right to freedom of practice of religion, freedom of the press, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom to peaceably assemble. I'm missing one.
You don't have to name all 10.
Oh.
It just names that we have what?
Oh, it protects a bunch of freedoms?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. It's rights.
Oh.
How many amendments does the U.S. Constitution currently have?
27?
Why is the Declaration of Independence important?
Why is it important? If it wasn't important, Nicolas Cage wouldn't have stolen it. No, it's important. It failed so hard. If it's important because, I mean, it basically cemented us not becoming a colony anymore and laid the foundation for the United States becoming a sovereign nation.
What founding document said that the American colonies were free from Britain?
Isn't that the Declaration of Independence that was previously mentioned in the last question?
Name 2 important ideas from the Declaration and the Constitution.
Government by the people, for the people, of the people, and no taxation without representation. One of each. There you go.
The words life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are in what founding document?
Isn't that the Declaration of Independence? He said authoritatively.
What is the economic system in the United States?
Rampant capitalism.
I think if I was your agent, I would have smacked you by now.
It's a good thing I don't have to reapply every year.
What is the rule of law?
If you have enough money, you don't have to follow any of the laws. Or is it...
Many documents influence the U.S. Constitution. Name 1.
They're going to ask for the Magna Carta and... Nope, that's all I got. There's another one, and I
There
cannot
are
remember.
3
the name.
branches of government. Why?
For a balance of powers, I think, is what they're asking for. 3 branches are supposed to balance each other.
Okay, we're moving into the next section, which is system of government.
Oh, good.
Name the 3 branches of the government.
Okay. Executive branch, judicial branch, legislative branch.
The U.S. president is in charge of which branch?
The executive branch.
Okay, what part of the federal government writes laws?
Currently nobody, but it's supposed to be the legislative branch.
What are 2 parts of the U.S. Congress? What are the 2 parts of the U.S. Congress?
The Senate, House of Representatives.
Name 1 power of the U.S. Congress.
To declare war.
How many U.S. senators are there?
2 for each state, for a total of 100.
How long is a term for a U.S. senator?
6 years, but apparently unlimited in some cases. Looking at you, Chuck Grassley.
Well, they asked for a term. Not...
Term is 6, but...
Who is one of your state's U.S. senators now?
Oh, I'm gonna get the senators and representatives confused. Is it Don Bacon? It's Don Bacon and Deb Fisher, but I don't remember if they're...
How many voting members are in the House of Representatives?
435.
How long is a term? How long is a term for a member of the House of Rep?
2 years.
Why do U.S. representatives serve shorter terms than senators?
Because they were meant to... they were meant to not be career politicians and to accurately represent their districts.
How many senators does each state have?
2. I can see why they'd pick random questions, and it kind of covers. This is working in my favor. I might get to 76 questions.
Why does each state have 2 senators?
Why does each state have 2 senators? That's a good question. I'm sure it's probably from some traditional reason, or
That
like
is not an answer.
it's tradition. No, it's because each state has 2 senators to equally represent every state regardless of population. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I was thinking, why is the number 2 and not like 4 or whatever? But
Name your U.S. representative.
who is our U.S. representative for District 2? I am blanking on the name. I cannot tell you.
What is the name of the Speaker of the House of Representatives right now?
Currently, Speaker of the House is Nancy Pelosi. I like this kind of doubles as like a cognitive test. Like, who's the president? What year is it?
Okay, number 31. Who does a U.S. Senator represent?
Their largest donor. The citizens of their state. You're just gonna mark it
you're
wrong.
wrong.
All right,
Who
fine.
elects U.S. senators?
Joke answers are wrong answers. I get it. Who elects them?
Do you want to be a citizen?
Apparently not.
Who elects U.S. senators?
Who elects them? The people in the election of their state, the citizens of their individual states.
Okay. Who does a member of the House of Representatives represent? I know you can get it now.
They represent their specific district within their state.
Okay.
Which is based off of population.
And who elects them?
The citizens of their district.
Okay. Some states have more representatives than others. Why is that?
They have more people.
President of the United States is elected for how long of a term?
4 years.
President of the United States can only serve 2 terms. Why is that?
Because people really didn't like President Roosevelt. Well, he's term limited, and they thought that if a president served 4 terms, he was too close to being a king.
That's pretty close. I'll take that. What is the name of the president now?
Joseph Robinette Biden.
You don't get extra points for flair. Who's the name of the vice president now?
Kamala Harris.
If the president can no longer serve, who becomes the president?
The vice president.
Who becomes the president after that?
Ooh. It is the Speaker of the House, isn't it? Nancy Pelosi.
Who becomes the speaker after that?
The Senate Majority Leader.
Who becomes the speaker after that? Or the president after that?
Who becomes the speaker? Who becomes the speaker? Well, they're going to fight over it. Who becomes the?
I'm just kidding. There's only one question about that.
It's like I have to know all 13 lines,
Yep.
all the lines
You
of
have to know the
secession
entire
down to the
cabinet.
Secretary of the Interior, or what is it? The last one is like Secretary of Transportation or something. Agriculture, I think, is the bottom.
You only need to know the vice president.
Yeah, right, fine.
Name one power the president holds.
The bully pulpit.
Who is the commander-in-chief of the military?
The President of the United States.
Who signs bills to become laws?
Also the President of the United States.
Who has the power to veto a bill?
The President? I see. So they would have picked a question out of each section, I guess.
Who appoints federal judges?
Still the President.
The executive branch has many parts. Name one, and I'm going to make it hard for you.
Okay.
Other than the president.
The parts of the executive branch. Name one part of the executive branch.
Yep.
So it'd be the military? No?
Oh, sorry, I wasn't supposed to tell you.
Oh. I just got it wrong. Do I get multiple tries? Nope, we're moving on. Okay.
What does the president's
IRS.
cabinet
Oh,
do?
okay.
Shut up.
Okay.
I'm going to deport you.
That one again. I don't know.
What does the president's cabinet do?
I guess it depends on the president, but the president's cabinet should deal with running the nuances of the country, at least as far as the government bureaucracy is concerned.
Name 2 cabinet level positions.
The Secretary of the Interior, the Secretary of the Treasury, the Secretary of Education, the Surgeon General, the Secretary of State.
Those are all correct except for the Surgeon General is not.
The Surgeon General isn't on the cabinet? Well, he should be.
There's an Attorney General, but not the Surgeon General.
That's right. The Surgeon General is the guy from the cigarettes.
Oh my God.
The Attorney General?
Shut up.
Okay, all right, fine.
Why is the Electoral College important?
Yes. Why is the Electoral College important? Good question. The textbook answer is because if we didn't have the Electoral College, then states with lower populations would not have a fair voice in the election. That's the official answer.
That's not.
Is it fair representation across different states? Is that the official answer? No, well then I got it wrong.
What is one part of the Judicial Branch?
The Circuit Court of Appeals, the Supreme Court, all the courts.
And what do they do? The Judicial Branch.
What did the Judicial Branch do? I mean, your social studies answer is like, I guess, enforce the laws or determine if laws are constitutional and bring judgment down on the peoples. I guess I never thought about what they actually do.
What is the highest court in the U.S.?
The Supreme Court.
And there are how many seats on that?
9 for now.
How many Supreme Court justices are usually needed to decide a case?
That's a majority.
Which would be how many?
Would be 5.
How long do Supreme Court justices serve for a term?
For life.
Why do they serve for life?
In theory, it's supposed to make them impartial. But what it really does is it cements incredibly out of touch people onto the court for a lot longer than they should be there.
Who's the Chief Justice right now?
Ooh. Is it still John Roberts is the Chief Justice? I think.
Name one power that is only for the federal government.
To collect taxes.
Name one power that is only for the states.
Oh, then my collect taxes thing was wrong.
Too late. Too late, darling, and never look back.
So, okay. A power that only the states have, but the federal government doesn't have. To issue driver's licenses, I guess? To issue licenses in general, I suppose. I don't think you can be nationally licensed in something.
What is the purpose of the 10th Amendment?
Ooh. 10. Trying to think of my amendments first, second, third. All the fun ones. 21, 22.
I could give you a little hint that it has to do with the last 2 questions.
The 10th Amendment is about states' rights. I honestly cannot tell you what the 10th Amendment is.
Who is your governor?
I know this. It's a disease. It's like shingles or what is his name? Lupus? Is it lupus? Governor's. I'll think of it.
Okay, I'll just mark it wrong then.
Yeah, all right. Smallpox. No. That's a ridiculous name.
What
for a
is the
person.
capital of your state?
Lincoln.
Okay, we're moving on to section C, rights and responsibilities.
Uh-oh.
There are 4 amendments to the U.S. Constitution about who can vote. Describe one of them.
Oh, okay. Do I have to name the number?
No, you don't need to tell the number.
Because at one point, women didn't have the right to vote, and they gained the right to vote through an amendment. As did black people.
Who can vote in federal elections, run for federal office, and serve on a jury in the U.S.?
Who can vote in federal elections? Isn't that just citizens?
What are 3 rights of everyone living in the United States?
3 rights of everyone living in the United States. I guess the right to peaceably assemble, the right to free speech, the right to an affordable mattress on President's Day, the right to freely travel between states, I guess. unencumbered. The right to an attorney, the right to remain silent. Wait. I'm off. Okay.
What do we show loyalty to when we say the Pledge of Allegiance?
The flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States.
Name 2 promises that new citizens make in the Oath of Allegiance.
Ooh, I haven't taken the Oath of Allegiance, so I'm going to take a guess that it is I promise never to overthrow the government violently, and I promise always to pay my taxes and blow up part of the country on the 4th of July.
How can people become U.S. citizens?
How can they become marriages of convenience, birth, or through applying through the program, the Citizenship Green Card program? Or can the president give people citizenship? That'd be kind of, you just be like, bibbity boppity boo, you're a citizen.
What are 2 examples of civic participation in the United States?
Civic participation. Jury duty. Gotta love jury duty. And voting, I guess, would be civic participation. And like primary caucusing is civic participation.
What is one way Americans can serve their country?
One way, you could volunteer for military service. You could become a government official or a postal worker. You could be a public school teacher. You could sell pencils, dig ditches, drive an ice wagon.
Why is it important to pay federal taxes?
I don't know. Why is it important to pay federal taxes? No, because federal taxes pay for goods and services for the citizens and keep people safe and keep the government working.
Okay. It's important for all men aged 18 through 25 to register for selective service. Name 1 reason why.
Repeat the question, sorry.
It is important for all men aged 18 through 25 to register for the selective service. Name 1 reason why.
Why it's important? Just in case, I guess, threats to America ever happen where we could re-up the draft, I suppose.
Okay, we're moving on to the section on American history.
Ooh, oh good. I'm bound to shine now. American history. Okay. It's just, they all died.
Section A, colonial period and independence. The colonists came to America for many reasons. Name 1.
They were so uptight that England kicked them out.
Who lived in America before the Europeans arrived?
A whole lot of people, actually.
Specifically?
We're going to call them Native Americans or Aboriginal persons.
What group of people was taken and sold as slaves?
Africans? The Dutch took them from the coast of Africa and brought them over to be sold as slaves.
What war did the Americans fight to win independence from Britain?
The American War of Independence. The Revolutionary War, as it's most commonly called.
Name 1 reason why the Americans declared independence from Britain. Other than to make kick-ass musical.
They thought one day someone will turn this into a kick-ass musical. No, because they were fed up with being taxed without anything to show for it from the king.
Okay. And then who wrote the Declaration of Independence?
Wasn't that TJ? Thomas Jefferson?
Yep.
I mean, I have no idea. Yes, thank you, Proctor, who's not supposed to be helping me.
When was the Declaration signed?
It is 1776, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Do you know the date?
It's July 4th, 1776.
Okay. The American Revolution had many important events. Name 1.
I think Boston Tea Party is kind of at the beginning there. And then that's my one. I'm not going to dig myself a hole.
There were 13 original states. Name 5.
Let's see. Maryland, Virginia, Delaware, New York, New Jersey. That's 5.
What founding document was written in
Massachusetts.
1787?
The Constitution.
Why were the Federalist Papers important?
Because they helped sway popular opinion to like a federalist ideal, because a lot of people were split between loyalists to the crown and coming up with their own country.
Hey, and do you know who wrote those? This is an official
I'm
question.
gonna guess that it was it Lin-Manuel Miranda who wrote those in his time machine? Oh no, it was Alexander Hamilton who wrote the Federalist Papers. Well, many of them? 52 or 260 of them or whatever?
51.
There you go.
Benjamin Franklin is famous for many things. Name one of the things he's famous for.
Syphilis. He had a bunch.
Can you name one that's not syphilis?
Not having syphilis? I don't know. That's pretty much better. He invented the potbelly stove. He flew a kite in a lightning storm, allegedly. He once tried to, this is a good Benjamin Franklin anecdote. He once tried to cook a turkey by shocking it with static electricity, and he failed to kill it, and his guests all had to wait while he tried a bunch of times.
Oh, that's morbid.
That's history. That's what that is.
Okay. George Washington's famous for many things. Name one.
He didn't actually have wooden teeth, but I will say George Washington is famously the founder of the Freemasons in America, or at least considered widely the grandfather of Freemasonry in America.
Can you name a thing he would be famous for that is on the test?
Being the first president of the United States.
Go. Thomas Jefferson's famous for many things. Name one.
Let's see. Invented macaroni and cheese. That's not on there, is it?
You're getting silly.
No, he did. He's widely credited with inventing macaroni and cheese. He went over to France. He brought anyway. Thomas Jefferson writing the Declaration of Independence. Living at Monticello.
Okay. James Madison is famous for many things. What's one?
Oh, just being. What is James Madison famous for? Just being terrible? I have no idea.
Alexander Hamilton is famous for many things. Name one.
I'm coming up with nothing. No, I'm kidding.
Shut up, I hate you.
He created the U.S. Treasury system.
Cool. Okay, we're moving on to the 1800s now.
Ooh, it's perfect, yes.
Okay, what territory did the United States buy from France in 1803?
Ooh, the Louisiana Purchase.
Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s.
It's the War of 1812. It's the Spanish-American War. The Civil War.
There's one more. You think you can remember it?
That's not. It's not like the Whiskey Rebellion isn't in there, is it?
Mm-hmm.
No.
You had 3 of the 4. Nice job. Name the U.S. war between the North and the South.
That would be the United States Civil War.
Okay. Civil War had many important events. Name one of them.
Oh, many important events in the Civil War. I only have to name one. Mm-hmm. This is where Civil War buffs are going to be like, are you kidding me? The Battle of this and the Battle of that and the storming of the whatever. I know they burnt Atlanta down at one point. And there is the Gettysburg Address, which is probably Lincoln's most famous speech with the Emancipation Proclamation and Civil War. I'm just going to get so much flack for not knowing about the Civil War, but man.
Abraham Lincoln is famous for many things. Name one.
Is it? He is famous for being on the penny. He loved the theater. He was the postmaster of his town. He was tall. He wore a tall hat. I'm trying not to say that he was shot in the head. He was shot in the head is what he's famous for. And freed the slaves.
There you go. Goodness. He wore a tall hat before freeing slaves.
That's what you asked me what he's famous for. That's what he's famous for, is wearing a tall hat, having the Abraham Lincoln, being born in a log cabin. Mm-hmm. That's Abe Lincoln all over.
What did the Emancipation Proclamation do?
It declared that all men were allowed to vote and own property. No, I wouldn't do that. It just freed them from enslavement. They weren't allowed to vote.
2-8.
Damn it. They
What
weren't allowed to vote
US
till
war
later.
ended slavery?
The Civil War. And again, that's debatable depending on how you look at it.
What amendment gives citizenship to all persons born in the United States?
I want to say 6.
When did all men get the right to vote?
It's going to be after the Civil War ended, like 1860 something.
Okay. Name one leader of the U.S. women's rights movement in the 1800s.
Oh, one U.S. women's rights leader.
You're gonna get roasted by the feminists.
I think this is what this is doing.
This is so easy. Come on.
Is gonna be like.
My third graders know this.
I am blanking on. It's not like Susan B. Anthony or.
Yeah, it'll work.
Okay. What this is showcasing is the gaps in my knowledge here. Okay.
Okay, we're moving on to recent American history and other important historical information. We're on the home stretch now.
All right.
Name one war fought by the United States in the 1900s.
World War I, World War II, the Korean War, and technically Korea, Vietnam, and Desert Storm are all police actions. And then we don't get a war officially until the War on Terror in Afghanistan, which we just got out of.
Yep, and that would be called the Persian Gulf War.
No, that's Desert Storm was Persian Gulf, and then you get Afghanistan later.
Afghanistan's not on here. Why did the United States enter World War One? You know this one.
I do know this one. Because we didn't want to enter World War One, and we ended up entering it to help out our allies, who were France and Great Britain.
When did all women get the right to vote?
It's a lot later than isn't it like 1922 or something? 1907? 17? 1919. You can't just mark it wrong. It's like the 20s at some point.
What was the Great Depression?
Okay, so the Great Depression is a basically huge economic recession whereby the beginnings of industrial agricultural practices created the Dust Bowl, and then also led to like the decline of the stock market and the whole economy. The world's economy collapsed. It's kind of post the 20s boom, and it's bad.
Who was the president during that time?
Herbert Hoover.
Why did the United States enter World War II?
That would be the bombing of Pearl Harbor by the Japanese.
Dwight Eisenhower is famous for many things. What's one of them?
Championing an infrastructure bill that created the interstate system and the Eisenhower Tunnel, which is terrifying to drive through.
Who was the United States' main rival during the Cold War?
That would be the USSR, the former Soviet Union.
During the Cold War, what was one main concern the United States had?
Nuclear war.
Why did the U.S. enter the Korean War?
That is a great question. No, so the U.S. entered into the Korean War because they wanted to stop the spread of communism from China, who was backing North Korea.
How about the Vietnam War?
Same reason. Which was not a good reason, as it turns out.
What did the Civil Rights Movement do?
The Civil Rights Movement raised awareness through peaceful and sometimes non-peaceful protests to ultimately pass the Civil Rights Act, the Civil Rights Voting Act, which eliminated segregation in the United States. And while it did not solve some of the racist inequality, definitely laid the groundwork for some progress.
Okay, Martin Luther King Jr. is famous for many things. What's one of them?
I mean, his I Have a Dream speech, for being a civil rights activist, for being a very passionate speaker and minister.
And why did the United States enter the Persian Gulf War?
Why did we enter the Persian Gulf War? Wasn't it for oil and something about Saddam Hussein wanting to invade Kuwait, as I recall? And then we were like, no, don't do that.
What major event happened on September 11th in 2001?
The terrorist attack on the Twin Towers.
Name one U.S. military conflict after the September 11th attacks.
U.S. military conflict after September 11th. So I guess the war in Afghanistan, the invasion of Baghdad, the eventually tracking down and killing of Saddam Hussein. Is that military conflict? Is more of an operation.
Name one American Indian tribe in the United States.
Ooh, well, we could do Omaha Indians. Winnebago, Navajo, Sioux, Blackfoot, Arapaho. Tlingit. Count Alaska. Gotta count Alaska.
Okay. Name one example of an American innovation.
American innovation. Let's see. What is Americans famous for? All-you-can-eat buffets. Food challenges. Monopolies. Let's see. Unfair business and labor practices.
Symbols and holidays.
Okay, symbols and holidays.
What's the capital of the United States?
Washington, D.C.
Where's the Statue of Liberty?
New York Harbor. Liberty Island.
Why does the flag have 13 stripes?
Is it for the 13 original colonies?
Don't you remember from the song? 50 nifty United States.
Well, I remember the original flag had 13 stars, but I didn't realize that was what... I took a guess. I'm hoping I was right.
Yeah, you're right.
All right.
Why does the flag have 50 stars?
There's a star for each state. Imagine if we add Puerto Rico, how angry people would be.
It would not be symmetrical.
Where would they put the extra star? Right in the middle. I want one right in the middle for Puerto Rico. That'd be nice.
What is the name of the national anthem?
The name of the national anthem is the Star Spangled Banner.
The nation's first motto was E pluribus unum. What does that mean in Latin?
Isn't it one... what does E pluribus unum mean? It's not in God we trust, is it? No.
You could probably decipher it if you think about the Latin roots.
Unum would be like many over one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The needs of the many.
Holidays. What is Independence Day?
Independence Day is the day we that all small businesses shut down and dogs and veterans freak out and have panic attacks as discount fireworks are lit off in every major city till all hours.
Name 3 national U.S. holidays.
National U.S. holiday, not religious holiday. So that would be national U.S. holiday is Labor Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July. Thanksgiving is a national U.S. holiday. Columbus Day is Martin Luther King Day, President's Day, and I feel like I'm missing a big one.
Think about your soldiers.
Oh, Veterans Day, of course.
Actually, you got them all. Except for Christmas Day, which is a national holiday.
Fair enough.
What is Memorial Day for?
Memorial Day was specifically created after World War I to remember the atrocities that had occurred during that war and the soldiers that were lost.
What about Veterans Day?
Veterans Day is also created after World War
for?
Because there were so many wounded or injured veterans who had come back from the war who needed taken care of.
All right, we're gonna tally up your score.
Because wait, let's see. November
Okay, we're
11th
not
is
gonna tally up your score.
Veterans Day, and it was the armistice of World War I, wasn't it? Okay, you're tallying up my score.
Okay, so we're gonna tally up your score.
Okay.
And we'll get right back. You wanna say anything? How do you think you did?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I got a lot of them right, but did I get 76 of them right? Because I know I got a lot of them wrong.
We'll be back in just one moment.
Ooh.
Okay, Mr. Anderson. According to our test, we've reviewed your application and you passed your citizenship exam.
Yes.
You needed 76 out of 128 questions and you correctly answered 100 questions. Your SAS Pants answers missed you 28, but you are a citizen. You have passed.
I did it. I'm a citizen. I really did not think I was going to pass that, honestly, because I was like, there's got to be some details in there that I didn't know. But hey, that's refreshing. That's good to know. We can keep the flag out front. I gotta go vote. Man, I feel like going and like yelling at somebody at a fast food restaurant all of a sudden, or shopping online for toilet paper. Wow. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I learned a lot filming this episode. And the most thing I learned was how to edit a video and put all these graphics in. I'm basically learning Adobe Premiere Pro from scratch. And so while yes, it took us 40 minutes to shoot this video, it took me something like 20 hours of editing to put all the titles and the questions and the sound effects and the noises in. So it's been a learning experience, and thanks. More to come soon.